Welcome into the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise, where today we go on the road to Tennessee, another division battle, as we are coming off a big win last episode. With that win over the Houston Texans, we pull ourselves out of third in the AFC South up to second, and with the Indianapolis Colts having the bye week, a win would put us on top. And considering the Tennessee Titans have not had a good year, dead last in offensive rushing yards and second to last in defensive rushing yards allowed, there is a clear path for us to find victory. And taking into account the recent stretch of play for the Tennessee Titans, it's even more on our side as they lost 6 straight games, finally breaking that streak last week with a 24-20 win over the Commanders. They are still quarterbacked by Will Levis, who is having about a year you would expect. 19 touchdowns to 16 interceptions, completing only 65% of his throws. Rushing the ball, Tony Pollard isn't having the best year in terms of average, only 3.4 per rush, but he does have 8 touchdowns, 2 fumbles mixed in. Receiving though, this is where they have their talent. Calvin Ridley well on his way for a 1,000-yard season, 5 touchdowns. They also still have DeAndre Hopkins with 755 and 3 more touchdowns. We'll see a little bit of Tyler Boyd, Pollard, and Okonkwo. But where I expect to see some big success for our defense is with the edge rusher in Hines Allen, matching up against CJ Latham, who has given up 11 sacks this year. As for the Titans defense, their main stoppers come down the middle, Jack Gibbons and Kenneth Murray Jr., both with 81 tackles. They also have a good guy on the edge here in Harold Landry III with 10 TFLs. And a main guy here to keep an eye on and who will dictate what our offense does today, Jeffrey Simmons with 8 sacks. They do force some turnovers, though hopefully we avoid more of those today. Nick Folk is not having a great year at kicker either, only hitting 77% of his kicks. And with the stage set, we're ready to get this one underway. With the kick is off, Johnson back to return, and he will look for a lane, cutting to the left-hand side and carrying that ball up to the 34, where the offense will get going. Trevor Lawrence coming off a really big game last time, did decently well passing, but it was his legs that really carried the offense. And considering how bad this Titans team is at run stopping, I expect we see more of that today. As Etienne takes the carry, he only gets 1 on the stretch. Though he too also had a really good game last week, stayed well involved. 2nd and 9, a shotgun look here. As they bring the blitz, it's out to Etienne, who hits the spin move, gets spun down, and will be a gain of 8. Oh, it does look like he's a little bit slow to get up following that hit. So with 3rd and 1, Tank Bigsby checks in with 2 fullbacks to help lead the way. In fact, it's kind of a 3 tight end set. Motion, Bigsby cuts to the left-hand side, and he's got the first. He was out last game with a little practice injury, making his return here. As the Jaguars 2 yards shy of the midfield line, sticking with that same look, and once again, Brenton Strange in motion. As it looks to be play action, dumping this one out to the flat is DeGuara, and he will push forward with a gain of about 4. However, that is all mute, as it's actually a holding call on Morse. That will back him up, make it 1st and 20. With a shotgun set here, motion on the right-hand side, Devin Duvernay. As they go to set up the halfback screen again, Etienne weaving in between the blockers and picking up the lost 10. Now we will give Morse a little bit of some leeway. He did get shaken up in that last episode. Also still missing Christian Kirk, number 1 receiver here for the Jags. He should be back in the next game. Kirk takes a scramble here and slides down with a gain of 9. That really was the point of emphasis last week. Don't throw unless you have a clear open target. 3rd and 1 here. And they go with a run. Etienne cuts back right and will pick up 2. So far, the Titans doing a great job of limiting those rushes at the 41 here, and play action for the Jaguars as they go downfield and tipped away. Landry in coverage. They tried to find DeGuara downfield. He's been a great threat here for the Jaguars offense. 2nd and 10, and Etienne trying to pick up as much as he can. It's just 2. The running game definitely slow to start off here. Jaguars trying to work on that, as well as the Titans trying to limit that 3rd and 8. Hard count, no one jumps. And drifting further back, throwing it up and almost finding 3 different players, 2 of which in Titans uniforms. Well, they will end up bringing out Little here to try the 56-yarder. This will require a big leg, and he's got plenty of space behind that one. Jaguars take an early lead, 3-0, off the Little field goal. And in a struggling division, every point counts. Titans take the field here. They start with an empty set, though. Motion Hopkins back and then back out. As they set up the screen to him, that's blown up Campbell. Going up against Tank Dell, Nico Collins, and Stephon Diggs last week, the secondary looked really good for the Jags until about midway through the 4th quarter. Looking to pass the ball here and breaking it up, nearly tipping it to Lloyd was Ringo. What a great display of athleticism there. Brings up a 3rd and 10. Split backfield here for Levis as they keep the tight end back there to help block, and a lofted throw too high for Pollard. We have Lloyd underneath, and that will be a punt from the Titans. With the run game having a slow start here to begin for the Jacksonville Jaguars, having to rely on Lawrence. He's doing pretty well. 3rd and rushing yards for QBs. Starting at the 22, they go weak side stretch and blown up. They've tried to run that play a couple times the last couple weeks, and it's been the same result, just not holding strong along that right side. 2nd and 12 as they go with a slant and past the diving Thomas. Those are the plays Lawrence has got to clean up. They say he's a short passing quarterback. He's got to be able to hit some short passes. 3rd and 12 forces the empty set here. And under pressure, throwing downfield for Etienne. It's high, it's airmailed, and will be a punt. You could give some credit to Simmons on that, though, with that pass rush. Giving the ball back to the Titans offense. They went 3 and out last drive. Instant pass rush here, and Walker gets the sack. He goes untouched with that double A gap blitz. And it forces a 2nd and 19. Back at the 31. Levis still looking to pass the ball today. Downfield, and drifting too far back was Aluakon. Looked like he should have had an easy pick. Instead, opens the door for Ridley, and it brings up a 3rd and 1. Empty set here for Levis. They bring the blitz quickly, throwing, dropped. Johnson bailed out for the bad coverage, and will keep the defensive slugfest going. Another punt. Jacksonville will take the ball at the 20, up by 3. Play action for Lawrence. Coming across, he's got his tight end, and he's off the mark. That's 2 to 3 easy completions that should have been had. Instead, all hitting the turf. 2nd and 10, Etienne, he finally finds that lane, cutting to the right side and picking up the 1st down. That will greatly help out his average. Prior to that was about 1 yard, now at 3. As they have a pistol set here, and going downfield, Brenton Strange, and he's got it on the move, trying not to get caught. Hooker can't get there in time. Brenton Strange with the back-to-back touchdown weekends. Jacksonville takes a 10-0 lead. Meanwhile, Will Levis just 1 of 5 passing, and they keep trying to pass that ball. Finally go with a run here and try to chop out the knees. Pollard, he at least stays up for a bit. But it does take us to the end of the 1st quarter. 10-0 here in Tennessee. The Titans offense have yet to be able to move that ball. Really just 1 first down today. As they look downfield, and that ball is short. Okonkwo had the drop on their previous drive. That time he didn't even have a chance to catch it. 3rd and 10, Levis. Sitting back in the pocket, rolling to the outside. Several defenders there behind. Allen steps inside and gives up the 1st down to Levis. A huge mistake there from the leader of this defense. Again, we called for him to have a big game against the left tackle who struggled so far this year. Haven't seen him make a play in this game. In the meantime, Levis, he's trying to warm up that arm. Finds a completion there, though just a gain of 1. 2nd and 9, Walker trying to get back there. Okonkwo gets the catch, takes a big hit from Aluakon, but it leaves them still needing 1 here on 3rd. Bunch goes to the right-hand side. They toss it to the outside, and Armstead slows it down. A pack of Jaguars brings him down. Defense picks up another big stop. keeping that Titans offense well in check. We take the field at the 32. We have motion. That's Davis. He takes a jet sweep and swallowed up by Arden Key. Jaguars try to get a little fancy there. Didn't work. They lose 3. Coming out here with a slightly spread look. In shotgun and under pressure, Jeffrey Simmons. He hits home this time. Make it 3rd and 18. He's been able to get a little bit of pressure the last few drives. That time he finally finds that sack. Backing us up here with an empty set. Under pressure, Gibbons forces a wobbly throw, and the Titans, they pick up just about as quickly of a stop. The good news for the Jags is they still remain up here, 10-0. Pollard and the offense hit the field. He's done well receiving, but the true running game has been slow for him this year as he takes it for a gain of 2. Edmonds getting the start at safety today as Cisco was actually out with an injury. 2nd and 8. Levis throws across the middle, and it looks like it goes off the top of the O-lineman's noggin. Even the Titans are helping our defense get some stops. 3rd and 8. Another chance to force a punt here. Just rushing 4, getting some pressure, and Campbell drops the sure pick. Will still be that punt we'll take back over on offense. Now with just under 4 minutes left here, kind of want to take up the rest of this half. ETN gets a big shot there from Simmons trying to find the edge. Will be another one in the tally of short runs today for the Jaguars. Changing up their look here, they go shotgun. 2 to the left-hand side, 2 tight ends to the right. Play action, rolling. Got Thomas downfield, ball keeps him inside. Trying to pick up some blocks downfield. He's got some space, but tracked down by the linebacker. A big play, though, for the Jaguars, flipping the field. They're down to the 35. And they're just continuing to get the rookie well involved here with the offense. He's definitely got a lot of potential. Titans bring the blitz. We run by it. ETN with space. Shaking off 1. Tracked down by the following 2. Hooker this time saves the touchdown, but goal to go, Jaguars. And it takes us inside the 2-minute warning as well here. Kind of with a diamond pistol set. Keeping it, Lawrence, he's got some grass, but good tackle comes in. 13 will be about a gain of 3 or 4. Lawrence continuing to tack on those rushing yards. Goal line v. goal line, and ETN weaves and in. No one able to bring him down. Jaguars, they take a 17-0 lead. Or will that finally spark something here in the Tennessee Titans? They have 3 timeouts, 1 minute, 11 seconds to try to get something done in this half that they have not found a way to do yet. Continuing to pass the ball, it's out to Pollard, and he's going to lose 4. Lewicon on him immediately. Titans burn their first timeout. As look to continue passing the ball underneath, they actually pick up a decent block, shaken off of 1 tackle. Okonkwo, he picks up 10, leaving a 3rd and 4. Trips go to the left-hand side, Pollard to the right of Levis. Looking to pass that ball. Under pressure, shaking off Mason Smith, and picking up actually a good gain goes Will Levis. But he is down as the final timeout of the half is called, and he's going to head to the locker room. He went hero ball for his team, but instead, it'll be Mason Rudolph potentially finishing off the rest of this game. As the first pass is complete to Okonkwo, and down inside field goal range, out at the 29. Okonkwo definitely had a slow start to this game. Plenty of talent, though, for the Titans to get back into this one. And pressure brought. Rudolph takes a hit from Hines Allen. First time we've called his name for any sort of positive reason in this one. 2nd and 10, 45 seconds left. Trips again to that left-hand side and going back to Okonkwo and picking up another first down. 4 catches for him, 51 yards, and potentially the final play of the half here. As we're inside 10 seconds, no, quick throw out of bounds, Okonkwo in the area. Rudolph didn't like the look, tosses it out, saves time, and they will settle for a Nick Folk field goal attempt here that he knocks right down the middle. Not exactly a winning mindset there from the Tennessee Titans, but they get on the board. We make it 17-3 here at halftime. It's been all Jaguars so far, a really good defensive showing. Offensively, they had to adapt some things. Running game wasn't too smooth out the gate, starting to pick up. Let's make sure we talk a little bit about what's happening around the league. Jets, they are currently up on the Dolphins 21-10, 2 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers in that one. As for the second game, we got the Minnesota Vikings and former Minnesota Vikings Kirk Cousins. Cousins has them in front 17-7, 2 touchdowns on the day, a touchdown and an interception for the young J.J. McCarthy. And for our final game update here, we have the Giants and Saints. Giants on top. Daniel Jones with a touchdown as well as Singletary. Derek Carr throwing a touchdown, though just 4 of 8 passing. Getting back to our game, Trevor Lawrence just 4 of 10 passing. Mason Rudolph 2 of 4. Though for Travis Etienne, he's improving that average now up to 5.7 a rush. As for bad news, Josiah DeGuara, tight end, is out the rest of this game for the Jaguars, and Will Levis also will be out. So with that medical update, it's Rudolph leading his team out onto the field to start the second half, and Pollard trying to find a lane and eventually does find it. Took him a hot second, but he picks up a nice gain near 20. And that's the first big play here for the Tennessee Titans really in this game. They had a good couple passes to Okonkwo to end that first half, but then they settled for the field goal. Looking to air it out here. Johnson drops the pick, though great coverage downfield on Ridley. He has the speed, the size. He could be a really good safety here for us in our future. Oh, obviously, a lot of work to go and a great play made by Oluokun on Hopkins. He has not had an impact on this game today. 3rd and 10, they look to air out the ball to the outside and too tall. Catch happens out of bounds. Will be 4th and 10 and a punt. And as the running game really seemed to start to take charge for the Jaguars at the end of that first half, expect to see a little bit more of it to start this half. As they go read option, Lawrence, he gets by Simmons, a nice little juke, and meets Simmons again, who puts the shoulder in. That's the kind of tape you got to put out there for a defensive lineman. Never give up on the play. 2nd and 5, dropping back to throw and finding Brenton Strange. A good placement on that. If that was placed on the inside, he doesn't get that turn, and we're not facing a 3rd and 1. With a heavier set here, notice DeGuara out. The backup offensive lineman checks in at that left tight end spot. Etienne goes that way and will just pick up about 1.5. Just needing 1. It works out. First down here for the Jags. Heavy set. Dropping back to pass, now rolling to the outside and short for Strange. You would imagine these would be the kind of throws that an NFL quarterback should be able to make. Instead, it's a 2nd and 10. Ace formation, Etienne to the left side. Bad angle from the safety. Hooker gets the touchdown saving tackle. It puts Etienne 1 yard shy of 70 and gets his team into plus side with 2 spread to the right-hand side, Davis to the left. Lawrence back in the pocket, letting this play develop, now looking to scramble down the middle, sliding with the first down gain. Again, just trying to play that simple offense. That's what we need from a quarterback. If it's not there, find something that is. He scrambles to get the job done. Breaks it to the outside here, and he's got a lot of grass in front of him. Tried to juke out Hooker, doesn't work. He gets another touchdown saving tackle. But with the change to the offense we've seen the past couple games, Lawrence is starting to look like a whole new quarterback. Getting that swagger back as they're down to the 13. Going with the stretch, Etienne stopped at the 4. Really good blocking on that play, just had to make one man miss. 2nd and 1. 2 tight ends to the right-hand side. Motion here, Thomas, as they go with the receiver jet sweep, spinning half a yard shy of the goal line. Do gotta appreciate using the big body there of Thomas, kind of as a motion power back, if you will. Motion here as it's the big offensive lineman having to fill in at that tight end spot. Letting him get set, looking to pass the ball under pressure. Lawrence is sacked. Arden Key clean off the edge. Looked like they were trying to set up some quick options None of them broke open. Second and goal now back at the 8. We get motion here, Evan Ingram. With a power run, he picks up the block, but little. He gets out there a little bit too late, the pulling guard. He puts a little hustle in that. He gets the key block, and it's a touchdown instead. Third and goal at the 5. Motion here, Brenton Strange going to the right, back to the left. Snapping that ball, looking for a window. He's got Thomas, who stops but shakes off the defenders. You're not going to stop him. Try to use that big body on the jet sweep instead. Coming on the drag, he still finds the end zone. Jaguars now take a 21-point lead. Titans will have to find 3 touchdowns to tie here with about a quarter and a minute remaining as Pollard, he breaks to the outside. Edmonds in pursuit, will catch him, dragging him down at the 39. Caught the Jaguars in that double A-gap blitz, and if you block that up, yeah, you could break some big runs to the outside. Rudolph with time in the pocket, throws it away. The Titans are missing here with Rudolph rather than Levis, as if no one's open, Levis would scramble. Don't see that too much here from Mason Rudolph. As he's waiting, buying time for the check down, denied by Aluakon. As mentioned earlier in this game, Pollard is third in running backs in receiving yards, but he couldn't hold on to that one. Brings up a 3rd and 10. Motion here, Okonkwo to the right-hand side. That'll leave 2 either side. Setting up a couple different options to throw here, and another stop from Aluakon. Would have been better if Rudolph went to the left-hand side where Lloyd had to guard 2 different guys. Instead, Folk out here for another field goal attempt, and he pushes it, pulls it even to the left. Titans just can't seem to get out of their own way. We take over at the 46. Hard count, no one jumps. Looking to pass the ball, rolling. Flag comes down, thrown down to Ridley and tipped away Arden Key. He was definitely one I wasn't expecting to be calling his name all too often. Holding also on the play makes it 1st and 20. 8 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. They bring the blitz and throwing. We find Thomas. A little bit of a bump play as he's trying to get down to the end zone and couldn't get back in time. Jaguars end the 3rd quarter with a big touchdown on a long down and distance. It's now 31-3 as we officially head on into the 4th quarter following the 2nd touchdown on the day for Thomas, leaving the Titans well behind here at home. As they pass across the middle, that's the 3rd dropped interception from this defense today. And that's not something we come to expect from this unit. Had a lot of interceptions the first few weeks here of Coach Madison Boston taking over. Passing the ball across the middle, and honestly, it looked like Hopkins broke that away from Okonkwo. Though I'm sure if you asked Lloyd, he said he did it. Don't take away that stat. 3rd and 10. Still looking to pass the ball here, Mason Rudolph. And lofting it out of bounds. Almost hits one of the trainers on the sideline. But the Titans are not done with this drive yet. 4th and 10. They're down 4 scores. They got to find some big plays here as they look to go down the field. Johnson coming over, and another dropped interception. Though that one, probably better to drop it. We take over inside the 30. And I'm sure the crowd here in Tennessee not too pleased. Etienne takes the stretch and will take it for a gain of 3. Just under 7 minutes left in this one. And they bring the end around back. Thomas won the game with that play last week. He picks up the 1st down this time. And he's had himself one heck of a game today, really filling in with the lack of Christian Kirk out there. At the 16 here, it's the counter. Etienne gonna take it down the middle for a gain of 7. Though the clock will stop there as Willie Snead actually injured on the play. He'll head to the sideline. Does leave a 2nd and 3 inside the 10 here for the Jaguars. Lawrence making a couple changes out there, out in an empty set. And he throws into the turf. Jaguars trying to make up for lost bad play here, running up some scores perhaps with a 3rd and 3. They got to at least find the 1st down. They need the 6-yard line. Motion goes Brenton Strange, and throwing, Ingram caught down at the 1. Completion percentage for Lawrence still not looking great. but he's had a fantastic second half and another big play. Arden Key, he's the only one in a Titans uniform to show up today. If he doesn't make that tackle, it is a touchdown for Lawrence. Brings up 2nd and goal. They go ETN, trying to power through, still up for a good second longer than he should have been. We'll end up giving him about a gain of 1, maybe 2 on it. Marking him at the 3rd here for 3rd and goal. Hard count, no one jumps. Lawrence trying to snap the ball. Does right before play clock ends, and it's another touchdown. This time goes to Gabe Davis. Closing in on that 40-point mark. You wonder, they're going to try to drop that 40 bomb. Now with 4:01 left in this game, just needing 2 points. It is close. Against a division rival, that would be a big showing for this team. It also makes you kind of wonder, has the offense just improved this much, or is the Titans just this bad? And that's not even touching on how good of a game this defense has played today. They gave up a couple big plays, but overall, they've been dominant. It's just a field goal for the Titans. And another 3rd down forced here from that defense. An empty set goes Mason Rudolph. Bringing the blitz, Walker whiffs entirely. Johnson, he steps the wrong direction, but able to get back there to make the stop. Pollard down to the 15. Perhaps a little bit of a gimme there for this Jaguars defense. Feeling bad for their division rival. About a half a minute away from the 2-minute warning. Pollard trying to get to the outside, can't break away from those 2 edge rushers. And the Titans just trying to find some sort of consolation points here as the 2-minute warning officially hits. Looking to pass the ball here, Mason Rudolph finally finds that dump off. Tyler Boyd gets the catch. I believe that might be his first and only on the day. 3rd and 4. Wouldn't put it past him to go for it on 4th. Here comes Walker with a key block with the butt of the lineman, saves it. Mason airmails it, and they bring out Folk. They do not want touchdowns. Are we starting to think they're shaving points? They didn't take the touchdown before half, and they don't take at least the opportunity for it there. With a minute 16, the offense comes out here, and it's a play action pass coming across. Beautiful throw is Davis downfield. Stopped at about the midfield line. Offense goes hurry up. Looks like they are trying to find that 40 bomb. Really putting it to their division rival. Staking their claim at the top. In motion, they go for Thomas, and he grabs another. This one appears to be his breakout game. Not that he hasn't played well in other ones, but he's really doing well in this one. 1st and 10, they bring the pressure. Finding Davis here behind Arden Key, weaving and getting out at the 11. You could hear the crowd's disdain for what Coach Madison Boston is doing out here, trying to drop that 40. Boos raining in, lofted, and I don't think Awuzie ever saw that ball thrown. And I'll say at this point, why does it matter? He gets the stop either way. 32 seconds left. Lawrence trying to find somewhere to go here. He's under pressure. 3rd and 15. Coach will call the timeout there with 2 seconds left. Little drops that 40 bomb. 41-6. Your Jaguars destroy the Tennessee Titans in a big win that will put them on top of the division. Thanks to that Colts bye. We also beat the Colts earlier in the year. That should put us on top by about half a game. Lawrence finishes with a 143 QBR, ETN 94 rushing yards, and a touchdown. But the big player of the game is Brian Thomas Jr., the rookie, with 5 catches, 133 yards, 2 touchdowns. And defensively, Trayvon Walker, 2 TFLs and a sack, but many pass breakups coming the way of Aluakon. And with a performance like that, Brian Thomas Jr. earns himself 2 skill points. Now we're going to go with playmaker because that's what best fits this offense. We want to get the catch on the run, the yak really up here, but we also improve some of that deep route running and release. All in all, it's a great boost here with that first one. Trying to get him to that actual scheme fit here. We'll go one more time, though that doesn't seem to give it to us. We do get 2 more deep route running, another release, 2 short. He's definitely looking to be this team's future. One thing I have noticed though is that we are not going to get this hidden dev thing unlocked at all. It says 37 snaps. Obviously today he beat that just in this one game. But it's good enough to take us here into week 15. 4 games left, and we are atop the AFC South. Due to every division having to make the playoffs, the fact that we have 2 less wins than the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 8-5, typically that's a wild card kind of look. We are the 4th seed with a losing record of 6-7. Colts are also 6-7. Titans, they are 5-8, and the Texans are all the way down at 4-9. This division is now in our hands, and we could find our way into the playoffs. And if we do that, then Coach Madison Boston is no longer going to be interim head coach Madison Boston. So a lot laying on the lines. Next time, we have Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. They are 9-4, have an 85 overall team. Their defense is their highlight, though, being an 88. And when we take a look here at the stats, it's actually both sides that are looking just as good. They're number 3 in offensive points per game, the 9th best passing team, though the running game is not bad, 12th. They have the 14th defense when it comes to points given up, about 23 a game, 8th in passing yards given up, and 6th in rushing yards allowed. Meanwhile, we're finally starting to get ranked pretty well here. Our rushing game is 4th in the league, our defense is 6th in points per game, and 4th in passing yards allowed. And with the talent we have here with this team, and with Coach Madison Boston sorting out the correct play calls here to get this offense moving, and with all the talent you could ask for here over on the defensive side, this is a playoff team, but we have to finish the year strong, so make sure you don't miss it by hitting that bell icon in the bottom right or scrolling down and hitting that sub button, and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Tuesday and Thursday. We also have on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, college football with a Stanford Cardinal dynasty, and they too just kind of went through an offensive rework. A true freshman quarterback taking over that team, and with USC coming in next game, you do not want to miss that one. A huge rivalry, especially in that series. So we will see you there as we go back home to host the Jets next time.